So I'm putting this together to try to go over the details of Summer Wells' disappearance. There's been so much talk since this has all started. I wanted to try to get it straight in my own mind, and maybe it'll help someone else. So Summer Wells has been missing since June 15th, 2021 from Rogersville, Arkansas. She's 5. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. Her hair is very short. She weighs about 40 pounds. She was last seen at her home at 110 Ben Hill Road in Rogersville, Tennessee. The property itself is about 11.2 acres. This is the home, and this is a view from kind of down the hill on the road, I believe. This is a close-up of the door that she possibly came out of. If you look over here, I'm going to move myself to call your attention to right here. This is the grandmother's trailer where she lives on the property. The grandmother's trailer is anywhere from 20-40 feet away from the house. That'll become important in just a second. These are the flowers that are outside of the trailer that they were supposed to be planting on the day that Summer went missing. And of course, there's a few things that we see here. I don't know what kind of flowers these are. I do see weeds, and I know from living, somewhat southern, weeds grow very fast. I see a little toy in there, so that could lend credibility that maybe they were really planting that day. These are little cactuses. What I don't see is this looks like almost like a carpet down here, down below where I am right now. There are no white rocks, no pebbles, no dirt on that carpet, very few. And this picture over here, you can see a tiny couple of few ones. Now, I am not a gardener, but I do plant a lot of flowers. And I can tell you I make quite a mess. Is that to say that this didn't happen and they weren't currently planting flowers? No, but it does leave a little doubt in my mind. These don't look freshly planted at all. There are weeds everywhere, and I would assume if you're planting, you're going to pull the weeds, but maybe not. So the day in question, Candus Wells, the mother, and Candus Harer, the grandmother, took Summer and a teen boy who's been talked about a lot, named Hunter, swimming at, I believe, Laurel Run Park. This is according to Hunter's sister, True, who is active in the Facebook groups. She was saying that people were alleging that Hunter went back to the home where Summer was, but he did not. Summer's mother, Candus, dropped Hunter off at his own home at 2 p.m. Hunter has been spoken to, obviously, by TBI, and True was saying that he's been cleared, but we know that TBI hasn't cleared anyone. We just know that they've spoken to him because he was one of the last people to see Summer. This is Candus Wells, the mother. She states she was planting flowers with her mom at a trailer 20 to 40 feet from the home. Summer went into the home and she never saw her again. She does have a criminal background. She does have 2 previous adult children that she gave up for adoption when she was younger. They're not really relevant to what's going on with Summer. But yes, one of them's name is Candus as well. She did go missing twice, but it seemed like a runaway situation from a foster home. It's irrelevant to what's happening with Summer. And then they have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl, with her current husband, Don. This is Don. He states he was at work, which has been verified as far as I know, 40 minutes away when Summer went missing. He does have a criminal background. He does have a son who plays into this because of other things we'll get to, who's 35 years old. He has 4 children with Candus, and he believes that Summer has been taken for trafficking. Now, I'm going to read a few of the things that her dad has said, and it'll lead us kind of back to the mother's statement. Quote from Don Wells. We know that there's people praying all around the world, praying for her safe return. So many people love her, she would never leave our hill. I think that someone snuck up on her and grabbed her. I don't think she's in the area because the dog goes down the road and that's the end of the trail, but I don't know that for a fact. The way she just disappeared, she would never do that. Another quote. She was planting flowers with her mom and grandmother and she wanted to go into the house. So my wife watched her go into the door and she went into the house. And the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother came in, she says Summer, and she went down the basement and she didn't answer. So she went down there and she was gone. So when she went to the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since. Now, it's been reported that they were planting the flowers. Summer wanted to go in the house, and it was approximately 2 to 4 minutes from the time she watched her walk into the house till she herself went into the house. Candus. The statement here. She wanted to go into the house, so my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house. Now, a few things have been said. One, that she was finishing planting. 2, that she was helping her mother with her knee brace. And that it was only a couple of minutes. But she specifically says she watched her go into the door and she went into the house. If you are planting or if you are putting a knee brace on your mom, how are you also watching her? Sometimes when people aren't telling the whole truth, they put in a lot of details that are seemingly irrelevant. On the other hand, we could say she was verifying to her husband, no, I watched her. I saw her go into the house, and then I don't know what happened. So it could be either of those two things. This is here, Candus Harer. Excuse me. Here. This is the grandmother. She's the grandmother of Summer, mom of Candus, who is here, and Rosemary. We'll get to Rosemary in a minute, as well as other children. She went swimming on the day in question, or she was there. Her adult daughter, Marie Bly, went missing in 2009. It's been said that she lives part-time in that trailer on their property and lives the rest of the time in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. I haven't been able to confirm this. I don't know if she moved from Wisconsin to Tennessee or if she lives in both places. Family friends who have been mentioned. Here's Hunter. I do not know this child here. There's Candus, Candus's mother, Summer. This is Sherri, the mother of Hunter, the lady who's seen in the picture with the puppy, the plate, and the spoon that everybody is very concerned about. And these are their other children. Hunter's family, Sherri the mom and True the sister, who's not shown here. I'm mentioning them because they've received a lot of attention because Hunter was the last one to see Summer outside of immediate family. Hunter's dad, Andrew, who lives in New York, has asked for people to leave Hunter alone. He's 15, he's not handling all of this well. If you go through the Facebooks, you'll see that Hunter was often with these children. So they were very close. Sherri and Candus are currently not friends, according to True. And Andrew, the father, has confirmed that Candus did provide alcohol for Hunter on the day in question of swimming. I think it was like one of those hard teas, you know, the teas that they mix with alcohol. He's saying that he confirmed it. I don't know why she would be giving a 15-year-old alcohol or why anybody's in a car with alcohol open. In any case, it's been confirmed by Andrew. How involved Andrew is, living in New York, his son lives in Tennessee. I don't know the status of the custody or how often he sees his son. He's just saying he has confirmed Candus did provide alcohol that day. Now, Donald Wells Jr. He is Summer's half-brother. He's Donald Wells' son, obviously. He's 35 now, or he'll be 35 in December. In Arkansas, he was convicted of sexual indecency with a child. So Donald Wells, the dad, did an interview the other day, and he stated that his son is a very good person and that he was with a girl who was about 18 months younger than he was. Well, on Facebook, they've now shown his the court documents, and that is not true. Donald Wells was about 19, and we know for sure the girl was under the age of 15. So, his state of conviction was Arkansas. The last known state of residence that I can find was Utah. Don Sr. says that the TBI has talked to Junior here. I don't know if he was anywhere around. I do know that there is a photo of him with Wyatt, one of the sons, from a while back. He could have simply been visiting. Rosemary. We went over her a little earlier. She's the daughter of Candus and the sister of Summer's mom. She went missing in 2009 from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. She was last seen driving away from her home around 7:30 p.m. to meet her cousin in Cushing, Wisconsin at a bar. Her ex-husband, Chris Larson, has taken a polygraph and, as far as I know, has been cleared. Christopher Markos. He's a huge topic of discussion. This is his photo from Tennessee, and this is his photo from Wisconsin. He is a convicted felon. He is on the sex registered national database for people who do things to children. I'm trying not to say too many of these words because you can't say all of this on YouTube. But let's get a little bit into Chris. How is he connected to all of this? Markos is a registered offender in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. Candus Harer, the grandmother of Summer, is from Grantsburg, Wisconsin. The speculation is Markos was somehow involved in Marie Bly's disappearance in 2009, but we know that she went missing in St. Croix. She was on her way to Cushing, 5 miles away. Her car was located in a parking lot 30 miles away. Grantsburg is an hour and 15 minutes. Does that mean there's no way he could have had anything to do with it? No. But I just see zero connections except they all know each other. Everybody knows each other. Additionally, he was convicted of something with a child, not something with an adult. Christopher is married or in a relationship with Connie Harer, same last name as Candus. We're going to get to that in a second. This is Christopher and this is Connie. So who's not Christopher Markos? Who's not him? There was a post on Facebook about Markos being 2 miles away as the search for Summer was happening, but that's not accurate. There is an offender living 2 miles away, but it is not Markos. Okay? And the reason, I'm going to try to explain it when we get to the next slide. So the registered sex offender that just so happens to live 2.2 miles from the Wells property and also was in the line of the helicopter last night, well, he has a Facebook account, and I did some digging, and he commented 5 days ago on someone's post, which would have been the same day she went missing. So my question is there a fence line around there that's been recently altered? Y'all do realize that the offender registry is public information. I went to the official Tennessee site and cross-referenced what I found. Also, it's a crime to slander a sex offender if they could be innocent. I'm not getting in trouble for saying his name. You do the research and you figure it out. So here's a post down here that somebody commented on, and Facebook sleuths found it. But there was a photo. This photo here was connected to that post, but it's not Chris. It's a totally different person. It's a totally different person. Okay? Somebody just jumped on that and was like, oh, it's probably Markos because he's an offender. It's not. It was not him. I verified the name. I'm not going to put the name out here, but it is not him. And I'm sure the TBI is looking into all the sex offenders, so. Now, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Christopher Markos. Christopher Markos was registered as an offender, sorry, misspelling there, in Tennessee in 2014. Records state he moved away. Current records state that he's back in Wisconsin. They do check, as far as I know, and I'll show you here. Registrant responded to latest USPS mail. Yes. So is this how they verify offenders? They send them a piece of mail and make them send it back? Because you could send me a piece of mail and I could have somebody who lives here send it back for me, and I could be anywhere in the country. But in any case, it said verified date 9/29/20, report date. So last report date was 2016, and that's his address there in Wisconsin. Now, he was in Tennessee, and we're going to show you that here in a second. So this is pretty credible, right? I don't have their marriage record, so I cannot say, yes, this is a fact for sure, but it's pretty credible. Candus Wells, Summer's mother, has 2 brothers. One has a daughter named Connie. The other brother has a stepson, Christopher Markos. But it's odd, right? Because Markos is 48 years old. So how old is Candus's brother? But then I have heard of situations where a younger man marries an older lady and their stepchildren are older than them. So is it possible? Yes. So are they related? By marriage, yes. By blood, no, they're not. Which still is... Anyway. Now, here we go with this picture. You can see here, Wyatt is in this photo. It's very difficult to see, but it's 2014. And there's Chris, and there's Wyatt. Connie is commenting. Chris and my second cousin Wyatt working on their bikes together. Too cute. So, this would be from the time that he lived in Tennessee. Remember, back here, he has a photo in Tennessee. He also has a photo in Wisconsin. So I think, my understanding is, he lived there during that time frame. Okay? And here's more to verify, you know. Chris is the stepson of one of the grandma's brothers. The grandma's brothers. Okay, so that makes more sense. I just got that myself. See, there's so much confusion on this. So Chris is the stepson of one of the grandmother's brothers. Connie is the daughter of the other. Got it. That makes much more sense. Not Candus Summer's mom, but Candus the grandmother, because they're older and they could have stepchildren that age. Good. I'm glad I'm reading this out loud. And then more from Facebook. I'm so confused now. He, Chris, lives in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. He works at a gas station. So people were going and verifying and talking to people at this gas station, and they said that Chris, in fact, does work there, right? He works there. I did want to go back a little bit here. To this. So, I'm very sorry. It sounds like he has support. To clear up a rumor going around, did Candus supply your son with alcohol that day? And this is from the dad of Hunter. It's with a heavy heart, his mother and him have confirmed that she did give him alcohol that day. So I just wanted to verify that rumor. And then Chris was at work this morning. He works at a Minute Mart, and a few people saw him at work this morning. He isn't missing. I'm sure police are aware of his whereabouts. Where he works and where Summer lives is about 15 hours away. I got a confirmation from an employee that there is the same Chris Markos that works at the Mini Mart. He was at the gas station this morning. So there's that. Then there was this to verify that in 2014, Connie and Chris did move to Tennessee. So it would make sense that he was registered there for a little while. So she writes, in Tennessee, doing good. And this is on February 14th, 2014. Just got to Madison on 94, headed to Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, going home. Nice knowing you, Wisconsin. Going home to the mountains and family. Thank you. We will all have a place to go. It's 15 acres with a trailer for now. We will build the house this summer, and Chris is doing construction work. Will be nice to have all that yard and the creek that runs through it. People are saying good luck. Are you going alone or with your husband? We're both going. Okay. Then in March, it's Monday and I'm off work. It's a great day in Tennessee. It's Friday and a good day too. Spending time with the wife, loving in Tennessee. So just so that you're aware, Chris and Connie share a Facebook page. So sometimes it's her, sometimes it's him. So in November of 2014, well, going back out to shovel some more. So they're back here in Wisconsin by November. Okay. Now, in October, well, the day is good so far. Going to get more wood, and Connie did an application at a grocery store and grabbed one for the gas station too. So we know that he's working at a gas station. Has he been there since then? I don't know. Okay. But now we can verify for some number of months in 2014, Markos was in Tennessee. Then let's go back a little more here to Grandma. And I think we've all seen this by now. I think she's saying handsome. I don't know. I and Candus was planting flowers right before she went missing. We came to the camper, had a piece of candy. Mom walked Summer halfway back home to see her brothers. And they said she went down to her room to play and she was gone. Mom helped me tighten my knee brace about 4 minutes at the most. And she said she had to go check on the kids, and Summer's been missing since. So, she says the mom walked her halfway back home. Now, we know that my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house. So, she says she watched her. He says she said she watched her from the trailer. And Grandma says that she walked her halfway back. Okay? Well, I don't know how far this is. I don't know how far that is away. It doesn't seem very far. It doesn't look far enough for her to have to, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here, but it just doesn't look that far away for me, but it could be. So let's move on. Okay, we went over that, 2014. Now this is the timeline that we have for everything so far. 6:30 p.m. last seen wearing a pink shirt and gray pants. Initial search was 60 to 80 people. an endangered child alert at 12:07 a.m. on the 16th, an Amber Alert issued at 11 a.m. on the 16th. TBI has no suspect or vehicle, and this was 6:16. You know, they issue Amber Alerts, and usually they put out information on the suspect, but there isn't any information on the suspect now because there is not one. This is really mainly her dad saying he thinks that she was taken from the property or from the bottom of the road. 30 tips as of 10:04 p.m. They had a press conference. Then on the 18th, Summer's dad speaks to reporters. Another press conference. They had about 85 tips by that time. Later, the church held a vigil for them. By the next day, there were 113 tips, and they did a statewide call out where they need everybody's assistance. 137 tips by the next day, and there were 35 agencies from Tennessee and other states assisting them, and the tips continued to roll in. There were 150 at that point. Then by 4 p.m. they had another press conference. 72 agencies, 2,400 acres have been searched, and it was said by law enforcement, quote, circumstances surrounding Summer's disappearance remain unclear. By the next day, there were 82 agencies and 3,000 acres searched, 304 tips, and rewards are now being offered from the community totaling over $27,000. Now, there were some other pictures that I did find, right? And some other things that I wanted to show you guys. Now, Summer was younger in these photos, right? But these look like happy kids, right? They look happy. They look at the beach. They're at a lake. They're out in the forest. They're running around. I saw tons of those photos. And I know she doesn't look happy and healthy in a lot of what we're seeing, but I can tell you, these parents are constantly taking these kids somewhere, whether it is, you know, out to lakes or out into the woods or running around or to the beach. They've been to Illinois. They've been back to Wisconsin. It may not be the best environment, and the mother did address that. For all of you that feel so much hatred towards me, my kids are my world and my life. Yeah, my house ain't the best, and I'm not the richest person in the world, but I have no reason to lie about anything or hide anything in my life. It's an open book. That baby girl is my everything to me. Judge if you want, but at the end of the day, God will take care of us all, good or bad. I pray with all my being that she comes home safe. I know a lot of you wonder why I don't talk on the news. It's because of you haters. Nothing, never good enough for anyone. But I did pass all my tests. I love the world and everyone in it. Now, based on the things that we've seen written on their Facebook pages, based on what we've seen in their photographs, you know, I'm not saying this is, they're the least educated people. You know, there are grammatical errors. I made a couple in here myself. There are a lot of errors. I know a lot of people are looking at the mom and maybe even the dad. But we've got to try to do our best to be fair and give the police some grace here and have faith that they're looking into all of the things that they need to. So this here is a lady from their church. Friends, it's with a heavy heart I write this. I cannot sleep. This precious girl needs our prayers. This little 5-year-old Summer Wells. She's been missing since Tuesday, and I cannot imagine the work that's been poured into finding her. Now let's pour out our hearts to God. If we ever needed prayer, it's now. Please join us, her church family, this morning. And she goes on to talk about it. But the local news just reported the siblings told the authorities she walked out the door. So how is there no scent? Here's the lady again. I know, but Candus, the mom, told me face to face. Said that's totally not what happened. She was complaining about all the misinformation last night. They got other info wrong too. The last time she was seen, the brothers saw her walking downstairs to the basement to play. Okay? So, they watched her walk down the basement. No eyewitnesses ever watched her walk out of that door. They just saw her walk to the basement, as far as we know. So I don't know if I've missed anything else that we need to address. I can say that many years ago, I know that Summer's mom did have child services involved, and there were circumstances around why her 2 other children were given up for adoption. But that was many, many years ago. In some of the photos that I have seen, they look very well taken care of. I don't know what's happened this year that made the appearance of the children and the mom completely do a 180. Maybe COVID, maybe they were out of work. I don't know. I have no idea what happened, because they looked clean and happy and running around and doing all this fun stuff, and then everything kind of just changes where they look really unkept, and I don't know. But we know that all of these agencies, almost 100 agencies, are on this. We can't hope for better than that, and just continue to pray that she comes home safely. And I know that that's really difficult, because we're always told the first 24 hours. I don't know. I think she's captured everybody. This little girl has really captured everybody. It's heartbreaking. I hope that she comes home, and I know that you guys do. Also, tune in to Tiffany Marie. She's really been working on this. She's, I don't think she's getting very much sleep lately either. Hoping for an update. And AB as well, his channel, he's constantly listening to the scanner, scanning the Facebook, looking at posts, trying to figure out something. But if you are the praying type, pray for her to come home safely. That's all I have.